What's up, y'all? Quentin here with Catfish Karma, and in today's video I'm going to combine this blank and these components to build the most tricked out and most expensive fishing rod I have ever created. I'm going to condense it all down from start to finish in one video, and at the end of this video I'm going to tell you how you can win the finished product. So let's get going. Alright y'all, as I mentioned in the intro, for today's video I'm going to be building the most tricked out, most expensive fishing rod I have ever built. Now, I'm going to go through it all really quick because it's like 8 or 10 hours worth of work probably spread out over, say, 3 different sessions, 3 or 4 different days, that type of deal. All condensed down into what I hope will be a video of less than 20 minutes, but we'll see if I can pull that off. The real goal though is to discuss the cost of custom rod building, because I get asked about that all the time. Everybody wants to know, what does it cost to get into it, and then what does it cost to build an individual rod? But the truth of the matter is, there's really no cut and dried answer to that question, because just like so many other things in life, you can go really low end and really budget friendly, or, you know, sky's the limit. You can drive a McLaren or you can drive a Mustang, and both are going to get you where you want to go. Case in point, this blank I think is actually a really good example of that, and then we're going to get rolling. You guys have seen the rods that I use on my channel. They're pretty basic. I don't do wild thread work, largely because I don't have the skill for large wild thread work. But I don't go crazy on my components, you know. I use really basic reel seats and pretty inexpensive blanks for most of my general purpose rods. And that's what this is going to be, is a general purpose rod. But I'm going all out on this blank. This blank alone costs double what my typical general purpose rods cost me. This is the RCLB 79 MH-SC. And that's important because you can actually get this same blank minus one feature. The RCLB blank's been around forever. Rain Shadow, I don't know, Rain Shadow's probably had, I don't know how many years, long time they've had the RCLB blanks. But what's new about it is this carbon wrap that you see on almost the first half of this rod. I don't know if you can see it there, that weave. This is not a sticker. This is actually a carbon weave applied to essentially the butt half of this rod. I'm sure it adds a little bit of lifting power. It probably might even add some sensitivity, but it definitely adds bling, and that's one of the reasons I chose it for this. But it drives the cost up, right? So you could get this blank without that carbon wrap, be just fine. But if you're into that extra bling and that little bit of extra power that you might get from it, there's one example where the cost can vary quite a bit. This blank alone retails for like $160. That's kind of up there for what the winner of this rod is going to do with it. Another example of that is the reel seat that I've chosen. I'm not going to take this out yet. We're gonna save it. It's very special. I've never built with a reel seat anywhere near that trick. It's all CNC. It's super dope. Very expensive. But on my personal rods, normally I'm using a reel seat that's less than $10. This reel seat's like $140 or $10. So you get the point there. When it comes to custom rod buildings or custom rod building, you can go really budget friendly or just go bananas. And I went pretty bananas with this build, and you're gonna see it as we go along. So let's get it going. All right, so this build kicked off like pretty much every other rod that I've ever built. I did some load testing on the blank to determine whether or not I wanted to cut anything. I did go ahead and cut just a little bit off the butt end of this rod. Keep in mind when you do that, it's not only going to affect the overall length, but also the power and action of the rod. After getting the blank cut down, I went ahead and fitted up a standard rubber butt cap, and I added a blue aluminum trim ring. That's going to add some bling that will complement the guides that I'm going with for this rod. And with that, I finally get to unveil what may be the trickiest part of this whole build. In fact, it's kind of the inspiration for this build. The blank is cool with that carbon wrap, but this reel seat, next level cool. I consider this to be like the ultimate hybrid of all reel seats. Way cooler than any reel seat I've ever seen on a catfishing rod before. If I hadn't already mentioned it, this is supposed to be a multi-purpose catfishing rod for chunking baits, whether they be live or cut, casting, trolling, suspending, you know, in a rod holder. You could even bump with this rod. But this reel seat, next level trick in my opinion. It's the AIP 20M CWGMB. Crazy part number, I know, but let me break it down for you. It's an aluminum reel seat, so super strong, but it has a rubber inlay to make it a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more grippy. The machining on this, as far as I know, everything on here is CNC. It is next level quality. You're not going to find that kind of machining on any other reel seat that I've seen. It's also got I guess they're Delrin rings in here to help lock the double locking rings together, so it's never going to come loose. So you've got the aluminum, you've got the rubber, but also check this out. I don't know if you guys can see it due to the lighting. I may have to show it different angles, but it's also got a carbon sleeve in there just for that extra trick, that extra pimp, that extra jewelry, you know? It's just a really attractive, I would say moderately weighted, finely machined reel seat. I think it's super awesome. They're available, I think, in 3 or 4 sizes. Very pricey, definitely not required in order to catch fish. You know, we talked about it earlier, the Mustang and the McLaren comparison. I usually install like a $10 reel seat, or maybe even less. There's some, I think they're under $10, the ones I normally use. This is a $140 reel seat, but it is so well made. If you appreciate craftsmanship and fine machining, this is worth checking out, man. I don't know exactly how they went about getting the rubber molded into the aluminum, but the people over at Batson assure us all that rubber is never going to come out of there, and they've never let me down yet. So I'm going to go ahead and get this thing on here and move on with this build. Next up, I did a little bit more sanding to get the custom shape that I wanted to my EVA so that it'll line up nicely with that really cool reel seat. All right, when it comes to the guide selection for this build, I'm not straying very far from what I normally build with, which is this. That's a stainless framed Alps guide with a black coating on there. It's got an aluminum oxide insert. It's a good guide that'll last pretty much forever. That's an upgrade over something like this, a standard one-piece guide. No insert there. It's just a stainless frame with a chrome coating on there. Those are like $1 or $2 a piece. These can be, you know, $5, $6, $7 a piece depending on the size. But we're upgrading a little bit for this rod. Not a whole lot. Still the same frame, but it's got the PVD process applied to the insert. So the insert, as you can tell, is blue, but it's also a harder and smoother coating on that insert, which is going to cast better and potentially last longer. Really, the only way to upgrade from this is to go to a titanium frame, which would drive the price through the roof. But this build is not all about price, right? It's just about building something nicer than I've built in the past and then giving it away when I'm done. I'd say we're just past the halfway point. I'm laying out these guides, and then really all that's left after that is the finish work. The second work session for this project involved getting the guides onto the blank. And I had to do some guesswork there because I had deviated from the original blank length. There are blueprints for this blank on the Rain Shadow website, but like I said, I deviated, so I had to guess at it a little bit. It turned out okay though, because I did extensive deflection testing. Shown in the video here, you'll probably see about 6 pounds on the rod, and I've got really good load sharing, no line contact with the blank. I think after I had the camera on, I loaded it up even heavier, like 8 or 9 pounds. Everything looked great. So I moved forward with putting some finish on the blank, and I'm not very good with the actual clear coat work, so sometimes I need 2 to 3 coats to get the result that I want, and that's what probably takes me the most time, the most number of hours in a build like that. All right, y'all, just like that, After 3 build sessions and about 7 hours worth of work, I have a finished product here that I'm going to show to you in really close detail, and I'm going to tell you exactly how you can win it. But before I do, I want to once again stress the main point of this video, which is if you're interested in getting into custom rod building, you don't have to spend a lot like I did on this rod. This rod here is one of the first rods I ever built. It also happens to be the least expensive rod that I've ever built, because you don't need crazy fancy stuff or expensive reel seats or any of that to catch good fish, and I prove it all the time here on this channel. I built a series of these rods, and it's like exclusively what I catfish with now. Basic rubber butt cap, high quality EVA, a basic but high quality Alps reel seat, you know, pretty standard guides, just good quality stuff that's meant to last, and I catch plenty of fish with it. That said, when you want to get carried away, you can, and that's what's cool about custom rod building. You can get one-of-a-kind stuff that no one else in the world has. You can get really specialized stuff that suits maybe only you, and you can just do cool trickery like I did with this one. You know, I took a basic rubber butt cap and dressed it up with a winding check there to start off with that blue theme I was going with. High quality EVA, some more metallic blue thread work there to go with that and the guides. The trickiest reel seat I've ever seen on a general purpose catfishing rod, or a bait tossing rod, you could say. Some more EVA, some more thread work, the Rain Shadow logos and rod specs right there. High quality guides, stainless frame with that black coating and the PVD process applied to the blue rings. And of course the blank itself, the RCLB series blank. It's really a saltwater blank, I'd say. And this one has the special carbon wrap on here, which may add some lifting power, possibly even sensitivity. And I'll tell you what, the power on this rod is impressive. I load tested it before and after I got it built up. It does change a little bit when you get those guides on there. And this is going to have plenty of power for almost anything you want to do with it. Trophy catfish, no problem. Monster stripers, big reds, no problem. If you want to do even some shark fishing, this one's going to handle them. I don't know what the limit would be on it, but I wouldn't be afraid to tangle with 100, maybe even 150-pound shark with this rod, no trouble. So, how do you win it? Well, it's pretty simple and it's free. The only thing you have to pay for is the shipping. I have the tube to ship it to you in, but you'll pay for the actual the postage itself. So, step number 1, this is a 3-step process, I guess you could say. Step number 1 is give this video a thumbs up right below your screen. You can go ahead and do that now if you're entering. Step number 2 is either use the links in the description to this video, which will link you straight to the Batson Enterprises YouTube channel, or you can just search for their channel. However you want to do it is fine. But look for the Build to Fish logo. They have 18 Build to Fish videos in that series on their channel. They're instructional rod building videos. So when you get to their channel, just look for that logo, click on any one of their 18 Build to Fish videos and watch one of them. Once you've done that, come back to this video and leave a comment with the title to the video that you watched. So let's say you're the very first person to enter, and you go over there and you click on their guide placement video. Come back to this video and just comment Build to Fish guide placement. Boom, that's an entry. And you can enter as many times as you want. So if you want to go over there and watch a video and come back here and comment, do it. And then just keep going till you've done all 18. You can enter up to 18 times, I guess. Make sure to comment individually. Don't put however many videos you watched in all in one comment. Make it separate comments because it'll be easier for me to track. So each comment will have a number to it, and I'll draw a number based on your comments. That's how I'll select the winner. So that'll happen in a future video. I'll let the contest run for maybe 90 days or 500 entries. I don't know. I might go 1,000 entries. I'm not sure exactly how I'll do it, but it'll be announced here on the channel. I appreciate y'all watching. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one.